there is a word that, let's call it a hollow word. And I want you to identify it with me because it is used a lot in the media and does alarming damage. And believers all around the world are being victimized globally for not understand well the meaning of it. Let's examine, let's head to Revelation immediately. Let's go to chapter 3. Revelation chapter 3 verse 15. This is a book that is studied by many believers, and what we are going to read now affects them seriously if they are not a connoisseur. Verse 15 says, is that where we all are? I know your works, that you are neither cold nor hot. I could wish you were cold or hot. So then, because you are lukewarm and neither cold nor hot, I will vomit you out of my mouth. Brother, there are no verses that could do more damage than these verses when you don't understand them. I remember that in my experience when I was in the system, I could not erase that from me because constantly, if I didn't follow the pattern that I understood, that as a believer I had to follow, immediately came the verse, or a well-meaning brother came to tell you, I'm looking at you cold. Or a thought came to your mind, you are getting cold. So, hello? You are getting cold. So what's going on? This is a verse that John uses it to say, I know your works, and note that this here is not for works. If you know my works, big deal. For this is not by works, this is by faith, not by works so that no one can boast. Then notice that John is appealing to the teachings of Paul. In other words, remember that Paul dies and John is still alive. And when Paul passes away, that's when John comes forward with this book, with these teachings. And John set out to get Paul out of the way. The Pauline teachings, he had to eliminate them because he didn't understand them. So what happens? The principle of this verse is for you to make an investigation of your steadiness, for you to repent. But you know how? Now look here in grace. Here in grace, let's suppose that you have been affected by some situation or by some illness in the family, or because you became unemployed, or because of any situation, or because you had a bad experience. It is natural that when you have a bad experience, your mood is not the same. You don't feel good at the moment. But because of the knowledge you have, when you read this verse, you are getting cold. No, wait a minute, I am not getting cold, because Christ with one offering made me perfect forever. Besides, He says that I am complete in Him. I lack nothing. And he that is joined to the Lord, one spirit is with him. What do you mean I'm getting cold? I know in whom I have believed. I hold my confession based on what my Apostle Paul has taught me. Besides, John was a minister of the circumcision, not of uncircumcision.